Hey everyone, we're live again here in Nourish, Heal, and Thrive, and we have another amazing interview coming up for you. I'm really excited to bring to you Dr. LaWanna Parker. She's a speaker, an author, an inspiration specialist, and she helps women rediscover their voice. She does a lot of different things, and she's gonna tell you all about it. So, LaWanna, thank you for being here.
You're welcome. It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, really excited to get to know more about you. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Well, I'm Dr. LaWanna Parker, and I work with women because I believe that transformation, well, I help women through storytelling, manifestation, faith, and journaling. And that's because I believe that transformation actually starts from within. So that's the direction that I deal with. And that is God's desire for each one of us to live with joy and purpose and abundance. And so many of us think that we don't qualify for that. We don't actually say qualify, but we think we have bad luck. Nothing turns out right for me. And so we don't even try half the time. Having been in that position myself, I had to learn. And as I was learning, I realized there were many things and opportunities I missed out on because I had the wrong mindset. So, in exchange, I tried to help others and I take them on a journey to help them discover the combination of using faith, gratitude, journaling, and manifestation together. As I mean, it's not anything special, it's just something that I feel, even though it's simple, it's a practice that helped to open up my heart. It it deepened my trust in God, and it allowed me to recognize blessings I had received and to manifest other blessings into different areas of my life. And so today I hope that by sharing what I know, I can teach other women how to do the same, how to anchor their vision. And we can do that through scripture, help you to cultivate that gratitude. Gratitude. People have no idea just how important gratitude is, what a difference it makes in our lives. So, yeah.
Yeah, sounds like you're doing amazing work. I'm really excited to get dive into this a little deeper. You mentioned that you were going through a struggle. You have your own experience of this, and I'm curious if you could share a little bit more about your story and how you started this.
I had two situations that happened. The first was when I lost my son and I went through this form of depression, and I didn't realize I was going through depression. In fact, it was years later when I realized that that was what had happened to me. And I had been very active, involved in so many things, and all of a sudden it just went away. And I started thinking negative. Then the next time was when it happened was years later when I lost my job. Well, I didn't really lose it. They downsized me, but I couldn't get another one. And all of a sudden, I had to depend on someone else every time I needed a dollar to spend. I can tell you, it's not a good feeling when you have to ask someone for something all the time. I was used to people coming to me because I was this strong person. Even when I lost my son, people forgot that it was my son that I lost. And they were looking for me to help lift them up. And I didn't know how to tell them. But there were times when I wanted to yell, hey, it's my son. I need support. But I couldn't do that. And I had other children who needed me. So when this happened, I was really in a bad place and didn't know who to talk to. And at some point, journaling came into mind. So I started writing, ranting, raving, whining, complaining. I just put it all down. But then somewhere in there, some nuggets came out. And those nuggets led me to write my first book called Courage to Live My Dream, in which I had to take a look at me and see where I was the one who was causing most of my problems, because all of us at some point need to ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. I had allowed my pride and other things to get in the way, but that made a difference. And in doing that, it also helped me to recognize others who were going through the same things. Because at that point, I'm a senior citizen now, and suddenly, who's who wants to hire me? Nobody said it was because of my age, but I felt that was why I wasn't getting callbacks. And then I thought, well, what am I going to do? I mean, what's left for me at my age? What can I possibly do? I had all these negatives, but the journaling helped me. It helped me to get some clarity. It helped me to start understanding a little of who I was. You realize how many people have no idea who they are because they've worn so many hats and they've been told they're this by so many people. And they've accepted those things without stopping to think about, who am I really? What do I want? And I one day suddenly realized that, you know what? I'm in a better place. I can make the decision for who and what I want to do now. And that's what I've been doing. I was a little slow. Some of my friends will tell you. Yeah, well, it took you a while, but that was me. It does, other people are faster. Me, I'm a slow cooker. But I believe I've arrived to a certain point and I'm still growing. And that's what I like to help others get to that first rung, you know, get to that first thing. Don't try to do everything at once. Just find that one thing that you really want to do. And even though you're feeling fear, even though you have those doubts, do it anyway. Even if you fall flat on your face, just get back up and start. Well, that way didn't work. What's another way to try it?
Yeah. I
So,
really appreciate you saying that. And the whole thing about you being slow, I think is actually a better thing because I think, the people that go slower and take a little longer to learn things are the better teachers, right? The people that pick things up right away, they don't know how to teach it because it was just instant for them. So someone like you is, I'm sure, is an amazing teacher because you know every step and every way to go, next.
well, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. It has been an amazing journey that I've been on, and I've had the pleasure of seeing some other people that I have worked with who have grown as well. I like to tell the story about this one girl who I was working with. She wanted to write, and she knew that I was doing that, so she asked if we could work together. So we meet every Monday, and she had this book that she had sitting on a shelf probably 5 or 6 years, maybe longer, that she kept putting off because she thought she couldn't finish it. Well, she did finish it. Not only did she finish it, she published it over on Amazon. And her first check, and she told me how much she had made, I went, wait a minute. You made what? I haven't even made that, and my book's been up there about 3 years. But she did it, and she was so happy. And now she's writing. It's a regular thing for her to get out there and write. So, you know, she did the work, but I helped to encourage her to do the work and to go out there and live her dream. So that's why I call myself an inspirational specialist, because that's my specialty, is helping others to get to where they want to be.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And I'm so curious, could you tell us a little bit more about how you inspired this woman to write more and get this book published?
Well, well, one is making sure she sat down and wrote. The other was don't worry about how it sounds or anything like that because you're writing for you. And so each week we would do that, and she would share what she had written. And she would ask my opinion, and I'd always tell her what I'm offering you what I think, but this is your story. So you write my words are just there to let you know how I feel, but it's your story. You have to write it your way. So we did that, and we had some other people who came on for a while to be with us, but she stuck it out. Even some evenings when she didn't feel too good, she stuck it out trying to write and reading back. And those first ones weren't so good, but as she kept going along, it started getting better. Not only did it get better, she's really good with creating natural conversation, and she can create a scene so very well. I don't even think she realized she had that in her. But once she started writing, then she started talking about, I want this story to go this way, but this character keeps telling me, no, it's supposed to go this way. And so she learned to trust listening to the characters that she created to tell the story for her. I've never experienced that myself. I have heard of others who have said that when they set out to write a book, their mind is going one way, and suddenly the characters are telling them, "No, I wouldn't do that. This is what I would say." And it has to be something truly special to experience something like that. At any rate, she when she finished the book, and she had someone else do the edit, because as I told her, I'm not an editor. I can proofread, but I'm not really a proofreader. I can tell you what I think and feel, but if you want to be more professional, you need to go to someone who specializes in that. At any rate, the book was published. She put it on Amazon Vella, which they have now since dropped. They no longer do that. But at that time, because she put it in that program, she was getting nice sized checks from them because people were reading, and they pay according to, I think it's the number of pages or chapters that they read or something like that. So she was doing pretty good, very good.
Wow.
So right now she's working on another story and she wants to get published, and I'm really happy for her. I have another woman who published a book of poems that uh, I don't know how successful it's been because she moved to Portugal, so we don't communicate very often anymore. But the fact is that she got the book published, and that's what counts. And I have some other stories that I could share with you. There was a guy from Brazil who got into my group. I'm not sure how he found us, but anyway, he was in there for a while. He wanted to write, but was always afraid to write. And he started writing on there. Um, like everybody, you're not good when you first start, but you get better as you practice. And even if you only write for 5 minutes a day, that's still better than not at all. So
Yeah.
it's been amazing. And I've had another woman who was where I had been a few years ago, and I was able to help her to come out of her depression and get back because I had known her before and I knew the kind of person she was. So I knew this was not the place she needed to be. And I was able to help her to get back out there and start doing some things that she enjoyed doing. COVID kind of hit a lot of people um, in a negative way. I feel blessed that I made it through that because I think I had COVID. I don't know positively because I didn't go to the doctor.
Right.
I just figured at my age, if the Lord's ready for me to come home, I was ready. Of course, I reminded him, he promised me 120. So I'm still here.
Well, it sounds like everything is going so well. If somebody's maybe they're like you and they're kind of depressed and they don't really realize it, but they realize their life's not kind of going the way they want it to go, what would you recommend to them as a first step?
As a first step, I would start writing all that stuff down. Journaling is one of those underrated healing methods. I discovered that by writing this stuff down and getting it out of my system, it was it was great for me because you know what happens when people hold things in? You have heart attacks or other illnesses because you're internalizing this stuff, and it's I'm not a medical doctor, but I know how I felt. And I believe that it causes more illness than anything. So if you don't have anyone to talk to, start writing that stuff down. It helped me so much to write it. The great thing is, nobody has to see that. You can either tear it up, dump it in the trash, flush it down the toilet, whatever you want. It's yours, or keep it. And a year from now, you might go back and look at it and go, wow, I am so glad that is no longer me. So writing stuff down gets it out of your system. It also, once you get past all the negative that you're writing, because in the beginning, what I wrote, all that stuff was negative. You start thinking about good things, things that you want to do. And then you start thinking about, well, why not? And if I could, how would I do it? You know, some things come to you, or if you've had something that you've been feeling, I can't do that. I don't know enough. You start writing about it, and ideas come to you as to how you can do it. You find you'll talk to people. My grandfather told me when I was a very young girl, I had to be around 8. Yeah, somewhere around 8 or 9 because we came to California then, and I never got to see him again. But he told me, learn to read, write, and do arithmetic, which is what they used to call math back in the day. Give you an idea how old I am. Anyway, the one thing though that stuck with me was the reading. He said, anything you want to learn, you can get a book and learn it. And over the years, I have found that to be so truthful. If there's something that I don't know and I don't have anyone to ask, or I don't have the money to pay a professional, I'll go find a book and try to learn from there and get the basics until I can get to somebody who can help me better to understand what's going on. So my thing is that writing, what makes it so important, and I urge people to write a book, tell your story, because there's somebody out there, maybe like me, maybe like you, someone else, who are going through some things that you've experienced and come out of, and you can share that problem, how you handle it, what you did to get out of it, where you're at now, and where you hope to be tomorrow. And it could help somebody else who maybe is going through, if not the same, something similar, to know that they're not alone and they can do this. They can get out of this situation. So I encourage everyone to share your story. You don't have to share your life story. Just pick one incident that you felt was the roughest thing you ever had to do and share it. Because if you don't, there's somebody out there who needed what you had to offer, who's never going to make it out of the situation they're in. And they may leave planet Earth never having gotten the help that you could have provided, that only you could have provided. Because I believe that each of us is here to help someone. And if we don't do it, they'll never get that help they need.
Yeah, that's powerful. Really, really great stuff. Um, I don't know if you know this, but I've done some research on this as well. And a lot of people, part of the reason that they're depressed is because they feel unseen and unheard. And they've actually done some studies that journaling is a way to feel seen and heard, even though it's not only you are gonna might read it, or it's a way you're subconsciously kind of hearing and seeing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's true.
yeah,
Because like you said, especially when I was a kid, I was always a quiet kid. And nobody ever really paid much attention to me. And as I grew up, I was still a very quiet person. And like you said, that one of the worst things is to feel like you're not seen or heard. And so you're right. That's why when you write stuff down and you hold on to it, and you can go back and look at it and say, oh my gosh, I've come a long way from that. To think I actually felt that way or I did this, it's you talking to God. I It's one of my ways that I like to think that I talk to God. And then he responds by giving me answers through the journaling part. Um, it helps.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you read
You're right.
Conversations with God?
Pardon me?
There's a book, Conversations with God. Are you aware of that book?
I think it sounds familiar. I remember a book I had one time, but I thought it was Jesus.
Um,
And this person, it was wrote this book in a very unique way. They were asked Jesus questions, and he wrote Jesus responses to the questions. It's been years since I thought of that book. I think a
yeah.
lady wrote it, if I remember right.
Oh, no, no, no. It maybe is a similar type of thing, but I'm forgetting the author's name, but it is a man,
It's a
and it's
man. Mhm.
Conversations with God, and uh the story is he was, really angry one day, and he was angry with God, and because he thought he was doing everything that God wanted him to do, so he just started writing, what he was angry about, and then all of a sudden he something took control of his hand and the pen, and he just started writing this whole book of answers to all his questions. And it
I
was like God was speaking through his writing. It's really, there's like a whole series now of these books.
I
I
have to
love
look
them.
that up.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to it.
Okay.
It's really great.
Yeah. That's thank you. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because,
So I don't want to take too much of your time though, Luana. Is there anything that we haven't talked about yet that you'd like to share with everyone?
well, besides the journaling that I have my whole program where I actually deal with journaling, faith, gratitude, and manifestation. And I believe those all work hand in hand to get you to where you want to go. So I will be doing a free webinar on July the 11th. I don't have the link yet, but if you follow me on my, uh, let me see, let me put my blog in here, but I want to put my website too because,
Yeah, when we're done, you can comment in the post of this Facebook post
okay,
so everyone can see it.
all right, I will be happy to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only about 45 minutes and it'll give you a taste of what it is that I teach for as my program is concerned. And I'm excited about that. I just love seeing people grow and seeing the change in them um, and when a light bulb goes off and they get what it is that you're trying to relate to them. I don't know. It's a wonderful feeling uh,
Yeah.
to see that happen to anybody, especially those who are really quiet because they think nobody cares, and so they're kind of quiet and shy and they don't say a whole lot. And then when you start seeing them grow and speaking up, yeah, that's truly special.
It is special.
Mhm.
And I can tell how much you enjoy doing what you do
Thank
because,
you.
yeah, it's just amazing. So thank you so much for doing this, Luana. And thanks to everybody that's watching this and listening to this. Uh, Luana's going to share some links in the comments. Definitely, I'm going to check out her live webinar when it comes out. So I'm going to follow her group, and I hope everybody else does too. Luana, is there any final words that you have for everybody that's watching?
Well, I would like to encourage everyone that's listening today to let you know that you are not too late and you are not too broken. But faith, gratitude, and a willingness to take the next step, you can create a beautiful, purpose-filled life. All you have to do is start by giving thanks for what you have now. Write your vision. Writing is so important. And move forward with God leading the way and watch what unfolds. So, thank you so much for having me here today. This has truly been a blessing.
Yeah, we're so grateful that you are here and sharing your gifts and your knowledge and your inspiration to the rest of the group and hopefully the world. And so thankful that you're here and did this with us today. I thank everybody that's watching and listening. And if you want to be spotlighted like LaWanna, then put interview in the comments here and we'll spotlight you too. You can share your gifts, or if you're struggling, we can get you some extra support. So definitely let us know and thank you again. And we'll see everybody at the next one. Bye.